Gentlemen, I hope you are all well and you've all had a great and awesome week. I hope you're enjoying the sunshine. We don't get it too often, but I think it is officially summertime in England. Are you enjoying yourselves? What are the things that you're seeing that you wish you weren't seeing? What are the things that you're not seeing? How are you spending your summer? Any festivals, any special events? I know it's wedding season. It's wedding season. So, how many weddings are you going to? What's happening? So today I'm in a studio. I'm doing a Sheila No Mates, my Miss Ewa No Mates. So I'm by myself today. Look, no guests, just me on my J's. There's some music. Still doing YouTube DJ, but you know, it is what it is. So today we're going to be talking about, you and I audience, we're going to be talking about the things that you wish you had been told as a young person. Looking back now, what are the things that you would tell your younger self to do better and not to do so much? I've been thinking about this, and for me, I'm not sure. There's a few things, but I'd quite like to hear your take on it. If you can, please do join me over the phone. The telephone number to the studio is 0203 002 8482. That's 0203 002 8482.
Love being in your company. Here with you is where I'd rather be. Give you the best of me like it's supposed to be. Na, 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 na. And girl, I love it in your company. Here with you is where I'd rather be. Give you the best of me like it's supposed to be. I know they won't make you go, won't make you stay. Stay in bed watching your pretty face. Baby girl, I'll be selfish with you. Girl, I'll be selfish with you. No, they won't make you go, won't make you stay. Stay in bed watching your pretty face. Baby girl, I'll be selfish with you. Yeah. I know they won't make you go, won't make you stay. Fall in love watching your pretty face. Baby girl, I'll be selfish with you. Girl, I'll be selfish with you. No, they won't make you go, won't make you stay. Fall in love watching your pretty face.
Okay guys, so the studio line again is 0203 002 8482. I'm in the studio alone tonight. I need some company. I want your company. Call me and tell me what you wish you had been told as a young person. What the younger you should have heard back then. That might have made your life different. Maybe for the better. Maybe not, definitely not for the worse, but for the better. And also, what would you tell your younger self about life now, about the future? How would you advise yourself? I would definitely say, for me, I would advise myself to save more and to travel more. Already, people do think that I travel too much, but I don't think I travel nearly as much as my spirit would like. Also, if you knew that you didn't have, tomorrow wasn't promised, and you had today, you had this week left to live, or this week for the earth and the world to be what it is, what would you do differently? What would you like to experience? What are some of the things that you'd like to have said to people? And what are some of the things that you'd like to have done? Do call into the studio. If you're calling from anywhere around the world, you can call in on a WhatsApp number, which is 0044 203 002 8482.
You're not rocking with the fire boy. I'm funny, you my girl. You go benefit. You want to photo church and a bit. mama told you a dada. Them other girls with the people. Say your mama and your papa, them be singer. When they born you, they made a hit. And if you're not to chop a water, to panic the matter, me say body bad, love me the love, tell me come on love. Oh, darling, me say body bad, love me the love, yeah. Tell me come on love. Oh, darling, what do you want? The things you do, you don't put me for the mood. What do you want? Look at your pop, walking me and push it boom. What do you want? So you the mother with your back boom boom. What do you want? And I take back the one things so you do. Don't know her, but the fine girls in my condo. See me at the flex with the back of a boy. Shawty give me like a dumb blow. Oh, why for me slow? How you no go follow me, baby, no be so. If you see my look cool, baby, you gon' know. It no be joke, call say it no be joke. Yeah, na bena. But don't pity Abella. Your melanin no flick. But don't pity Abella. Yeah, na bena.
Have you ever written a letter to your younger self as an adult? Anyone over 18, maybe over 16, what are some of the things that you wish you had done as a young person? I've just said I wish I'd travelled a bit more. Some people, getting some messages on my phone, but not on the phone, in the studio. Okay. A lovely young man said he would tell his younger self to come and date me. I don't know, that sounds a bit like you're a lot older, but I don't think you are. It's very hot in the studio today as it is outside, so I'm going to bring the temperature down. If you know me, you know I'm always cold, so if I say I'm hot, I must be quite hot today, and I don't have that much on. I've got a little dress on today, but it is still quite warm. So before I carry on, I want to send a shout out to Ludwig Jr. for his excellent conference this weekend on education, the GEPS UK annual forum conference, which took place last week Saturday. Unfortunately, I wasn't there the whole day, but I did go for some of it and I found it to be very beneficial. I'm looking forward to it for next year's one. Also, shout out to Danielle, who had earlier on this month, had her first annual Ivorian Women of Excellence Awards night. Also was very successful. Beautiful people turned up. It was a lovely night had by all. So, my dear younger self, I will tell you not to worry so much, not to worry about life. Things eventually work out themselves. Don't worry about people. People will come to you if they need to, or they won't. It doesn't matter. Don't worry about pleasing other people all the time. Please yourself too. Your mental health is important. I will tell my younger self not to get so addicted to chocolate. Too much chocolate. I'll tell my younger self to work out more. I suppose I can tell my older self too. So I'm telling my older self, work out more. If I had a week before I knew the world was going to come to an end, I don't know what I would do actually. I feel like I'm living some of my best life now. But what would you do? Call into the studio. The number is 0203 002 8482. If you're calling from anywhere else around the world, it's 0044 203 002 8482. Listen to some music whilst you have a think.
Bada bang bang, aye. It be you that cool my temper. It be you that chop my keys. It be you for bomb my daughter. Oh your boyfriend all my trips. I for like to show your side, oh. But they get don't cure my country. John Thomas no they stand where you are the gas. Bang bang bang. It no matter, no, it no matter whether your man a Jack the Ripper, whether your man a higher killer. It no matter, baby, it no matter whether your man a Jack the Ripper, whether your man a it no matter, baby, it no matter whether your man a whether your
Oh, we're having music issues. Oh, here we go. Oh, we're having music issues. Oh, here we go.
There is something about you I know fit explain. Baby, biko,
Hi, Tosha. She said she would definitely tell her younger self to stay fit. I agree with you, Tosh. I definitely need my younger self to stay fit because I think as you get older, it's harder to stay fit. I say that, and there is an 80-year-old lady who is a bodybuilder and in great shape and put the likes of me to shame. So, Tosh, let's tell ourselves now to stay fit. Walk more, eat better, drink more water, go to the gym and mind your business. That's what, yeah.
There is something about you I know fit explain. Baby, biko, let's not fade away. Fade away. Fade away.
Pull it, come on.
It's alright. All of my guys are alright. Look at us, we wearing all white. Smoking and drinking all night. It's alright. All of my guys are alright. Look at us, we wearing all white. Smoking and drinking all night. Yeah. Ghana, shisha, everything shamaya. Ghana, shisha, everything shamaya. Ghana, shisha, everything shamaya.
I would also tell my younger self to always see the glass as half full. Too many times we spend a lot of time kind of concentrating on the negatives in life. There are people who come your way and they are negative. There are things that come your way that are negative. But I think as a whole, it's always good to see the glass as half full. Be more optimistic. Be hopeful of the future. And be happy in it. Look, it's sunny. We have life. That's the first thing. We have life. So be positive to my younger self. I would also tell my younger self that keep your friends few. Your acquaintances can be many, but keep your friends few and close to your heart. Because friends, and not just any friends, because we have a tendency to call everybody we meet and the people we see and the people we have conversations with as friends. But real friends, the ones who are there for you, the ones who you can turn to, the ones that turn to you, the ones that are truthful with you, they are few. If you look at your friends, you'll see they are few. So keep your friends few and close to you. As a young person in school, I had lots of friends. I had friends. I make friends easily as a person. So I've always said, oh, I've got lots of friends. But actually, as I get older, I realize that my friends are actually and definitely a small circle, few, but many acquaintances. So Keep your friends few and close to your heart. I tell my younger self to grab every single opportunity with both hands. I'll tell my younger self to trust in God for the things that I can't handle myself. Trust that God will handle it for me, but work towards it. I'll tell myself to pray a bit more than I did, and perhaps I do now. I will tell my younger self to be happy with myself at all times. I've got I've got a call. Yay, somebody likes me. Hello, caller.
Debin Aderami.
Hello, Debin Aderami. How are you?
I really like today's topic. I think it's excellent, actually. I'm really surprised that, just when you think that you run out of discussion ideas, today's topic has really got me fired up.
Yeah.
And I also really like your intro about friendships and acquaintances.
Because you were here last week talking about friendships.
Yes, absolutely. So it feels actually like a really good continuation of it with a much more reflective foundation.
Thank you.
But what I will say, what I wish that I did do more was I wish that I curated my younger days with a lot more purpose. I wish that I kept a diary which would serve as a living document. Ghanaians always say something which is sankofa, which is reflecting on the past to kind of make decisions about the future. And I wish that my past was documented better. I feel like in my adulthood I document more than, so like if I had to reflect on, my first 2 decades, it's just summarized into my youth or my childhood. It doesn't have clear defined lines. And I also wish that I understood at that point that my youth was something of a commodity. It had value.
Yeah. Because
then I could have pursued things which I'm unable to do today, Just even just knowing things like, it's easier to do something then when you're young. Or just understanding the concept of youth as being a marketable commodity, even in terms of things like marketing, advertising, just putting myself forward for things which you just get paid for showing up. I just wish that I had the courage to do those things which perhaps, I'm not able to do now.
And are you... so you don't feel like you're making up for it now?
I don't think I am as much as, I would have liked to. So, there's so many visa programs, like go and do the kibbutz, which is only valid up until when you're 26, or you do the, there's another USA program, which is like a summer camp to teach English, or going to the hinterlands of Mongolia or outback Cambodia. Things which,
you could have done without...
Which I can't do now. There's so many things, actually, which are really 18 to 30, which if you're post that, those opportunities are lessened.
And you're more carefree at that time as well, aren't you?
I wish I knew when I was younger the time was actually running out. And I didn't.
Did you feel invincible at the time?
Are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Hello?
Yes, I'm here. Oh dear, we've lost Debin, my first caller. Deben, thank you. I appreciate you as always. You can see I was beginning to talk to myself and you called me. Thank you. I hope you can come back through because that was quite interesting. I've got a... Millie has messaged. Oh, it's calling back. Bear with me. Hello? Hello?
Hello.
Hi, sorry, I lost you there.
I can't hear you at all. I don't know if you're there.
Oh, I am here.
Hello.
This is weird.
Oh, it's a bad line. Oh dear. Hello.
I can hear you.
You must be mute because I can't hear you at all.
I'm not on mute. Hello?
Oh dear. Okay.
Can you hear me?
Oh, I can hear you now. Now I can hear you.
Oh, I must have pressed something.
Yes.
Sorry, carry on.
And I just, and I just wish that I knew that, you know, time was a finite resource. I was just living, and, you know, I would say things like, oh, when I grow up, but without actually understanding that the transition up until that point is equally of value, actually, if not more, because you can't reverse the time. And I put that down to cultural factors. You know, I come from a culture where, you know, to actually be old and to be aged is kind of deemed to be of great substance. But leading up to that just feels like waiting in the wings for, you know, yeah. Whereas, you know, I just wish that I understood it better or understood it like I did today. Then my sort of growing and formative years would have had considerably more direction, would have been more purposeful, and certainly I would have curated and documented it better.
But as far as documenting, I think you're making up for all the lost time, if not more, though.
Yes, but because that's what I'm doing today. But I mean that's very recent. We're talking the last 7 years. I mean, like even when you and I were in New York together, which was probably just about 10 years ago. I probably have like 2 pictures from that. So you know what I mean. A lot of it is shifted. A lot of what I do today is born out of what I didn't do back then. So I just kind of wish that it had a much more different tone. I suppose that's my key regret. In terms of friends and acquaintances, which you brought up, I feel like it's all part of the learning curve. Not everybody will sail with you right to the grave. And it's interesting to kind of see who you meet on your journey. Who stays till the end. Who goes, and sometimes people do re-emerge. I think that's life, and I think that you can't always drive that. But I wish in terms of my own life and my own youth that I celebrated my youth a lot more, and I kind of, and just how a pensioner appreciates the golden years and all of that. I just kind of wish that, like when I was 14, 15, I was kind of, really capturing each day and, curating it better and having clear goals and,
so let me
capturing it a lot better.
Okay, let me ask you a question. If you knew that the world was coming to an end tomorrow or in a week, what are the things that you would do? What are the things that you'd like to experience? What are the things you'd like to say to people? What are the things that you'd like to do with or to people? What are the things that you'd like to do? What would you tick off your list?
If I knew the world was coming to an end, I probably won't do a lot. But if I knew that my time was coming to an end and the world is going to continue, I would like to leave a legacy in which I can be remembered. And the best way to be remembered is by doing either really horrible things or doing really good things. So I would probably want to do really good things, give lots of things away, speak to people, connect with people who I truly love and care about,
Mm-hmm.
I'll probably want to assemble them all in one place and really show appreciation.
Yeah.
I would also probably keep an open journal, and just document my time until the final word, the end,
Mm-hmm.
um, and just provide a greater degree of transparency because there would be no need to hold anything back. It's all drawing to a close, isn't it?
Yes, this is true.
I think
What
that's what I like to do.
what would you? So what's stopping you from doing some of those things now? Because really and
I mean,
truly,
it's not,
tomorrow is not promised. We all go to bed thinking in the morning we'll do this, or next week we'll do this and we'll do this. But who are we to really? It's not promised. So what is stopping us from doing some of the things?
But I am doing those things now. I mean, how I live my life now is very different from how I lived my life back then.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so today I value friendships. I mean, for instance, I knew your radio show was coming on, so even though I wasn't there physically, I wanted to support and actually be there remotely.
Thank you.
So these are things that I'm doing. Prioritizing the people that I care about,
Mm-hmm.
prioritizing my own access to what I want to see and what I want to do,
Mm-hmm.
within my capabilities, and actually just also prioritizing how I feel. And it's very difficult when you live in a society where one's truly isolated.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I have lots of friends, and of course, my nuclear family is still alive. But sometimes I do feel like, wow, my decisions have a direct impact on me, and therefore I really have to coordinate, plan, organize, curate in such a way that I am okay. You know what I mean?
Mm.
And depend on my inner resource, because actually, one thing I've come to realize, particularly in the last 5 years, is yes, we have a lot of resilience as human beings, but we're also quite fragile and we're quite emotional.
Definitely.
And it's just important. I think it's just important to kind of recognize that and be honest about it. I do get upset, and things that upset me can be quite minor when I have to deconstruct them. So it's important that I prioritize my reactions on my mental, health and
Mm-hmm.
well-being. I think it's just really, really important.
Mm-hmm.
And I think to show love as well. I think it's really important. Particularly, again, taking people for granted is something that I never want to be accused of.
Mm-hmm.
And it really guides how I treat people and react to people. And have respect for people and be expressive as well.
Don't hold back.
Yeah, don't hold back. And there's no point, not saying to somebody, actually, I value you, I appreciate you. Having that conscious thing where, oh, Sheila, I think you are actually fabulous. And just saying that, it doesn't lessen what I feel about myself, and
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't have any ulterior motive,
Yeah.
So yeah, I really like today's topic because it makes me think that, wow, what I do today is actually born out of what I didn't do then, and I kind of wish that I had done more of that then.
Let's rectify that, shall we? And I think you're one person who's definitely not kind of living in the past, so to speak. You're advising yourself, and you seem to be advising yourself quite well, and definitely making up for lost time and what you didn't do as a younger person. So yeah, that's great. I've got some comments.
And I think it's important. I think it's also important in order to grow and to move forward as a person. You really have to take stock and figure out, where you're going and what you're doing. And those are conversations that frequently have with myself. Admittedly, not always in open spaces. I mean, I do with you, but then that's because we have that relationship, and you do with me too.
Yeah.
And also to recognize that that's actually quite rare. Not many people have that. And not many people have that across gender, across, different types of, experiences, orientation, and sustained over a long period of time. And not to take it for granted, but to actually recognize it as something of value and something to nurture and something to continuously work at. I think it's really important. What are the comments, babe? And why was your show late? I was really on the time.
I've had a bit of a day today. I do apologize. I know that you hate lateness, but I do apologize, and I apologize to the listeners and the viewers. I apologize for being late today. I had a thing this today, but I'll make up for it 20 minutes after. I've got a Millie, who I'm always saying to Millie, call in. Millie's very good at messaging and letting me know what's on her mind and her point of view on the topics. But Millie, you don't call. And she says she'll call today, so I'm waiting. She says, oh my God, interesting conversation. Firstly, don't have sex till you get the right man or woman. Secondly, listen to your intuition more. Aim much higher. Doesn't matter if you fail, because you will, and it's not a bad thing. It's a lesson God or the universe is showing you. Love more, no matter what people throw at you. I think that's really good.
Well, I think too much value is being put on sex. I would go the other way and say have as much of it as possible, actually, because then... No, seriously.
I think it's a bit different, though, from a guy's point of view. But okay, put your opinion forth.
I mean, just quite honestly, what are you saving it up for? I mean, I really don't see the point. It actually, more than likely the person you end up cupping off with is kind of slept with all your friends, and then you're just putting out for him simply because he's the one who proposed, in a heterosexual context. But I just don't see why something needs to be so sacred. It's pointless.
I guess it depends also on your background and your beliefs.
Sorry?
Yeah. So if that's from your point of view, but from other point of view, be your background, your beliefs, what you've grown up around. Really, there's a boom. Hello.
Yeah, I suppose. I mean, of course. With the necessary precautions. Who needs teenage pregnancy? Who certainly needs disease, HIV/AIDS, and all the rest of it. But I think it's important to be sexually aware and to understand attraction and physical attraction. And youth captures it best. There's no point being a 60-year-old slut. Rather do it when you're in your late teens. I don't see, the real issue with
Well,
that.
I wonder if anybody else has an issue with it. If you do, please do call into the studio. The telephone number is 02...
Sex sells, honey. She's like capitalized and call into the studio, honey.
As soon as I give the number.
0203-002-8482.
And if you're calling from overseas?
It's +44-203-002-8482.
Thank you, Deben. You heard it from Deben, Mr. Adaremi. You sound very posh on the phone. In fact, actually, you always sound posh, so never mind. Yes, Deben has said it. That's the phone number. Please get in touch or join us on Facebook. You can message me directly. There's messages. Oh, great. Christian says, we are watching football. Later we will come on. Why? Okay, so obviously this is the wrong season to try and get people to, especially men, to do things, because you guys seem to be watching football. Hi, Adoma. Hi, Afia. Janice. Hello, boss lady. I see you. Kabna. Hello. Sharon has joined. Mr. Bamford's there. My sister said it's very interesting and she's going to call in, but she's on her way to Tesco. So she will when she gets in. What do I want from Tesco? I don't think I've got a shopping list today. Never mind. What else, Deben? What else? So the reason actually why I decided to talk about this, certainly the second part of it, of if you knew the world as you knew it was coming to an end, or etc., is I've realized that this year there's been a lot of people leaving us. There's been lots of deaths, lots of it's crazy. And so it just, for me personally, it makes me think actually we're definitely not promised tomorrow. So there are things that we've got to do now. It's things that we haven't done, but let's talk to our younger selves and then move on. So I went online and I was reading letters and notes to my younger self. And actually I'll read one for you from Emma Thompson. Of course you know who he is, Deben, right? Who she is?
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a book that's called Dear 16-Year-Old Me. It started off with Elton John had this foundation, so he got, he knows all the stars, etc. He got them all to write things down, and I liked Emma Thompson's one, which I seem to have lost. Bear with me. So Emma Thompson says, Dear M, she's got 16 in there, I realise that you are young and in love and that nothing much that anyone old says seems relevant. But seeing as it's me, that is you, that is us, I think is worth a go. 2 top tips from 50 to 16-year-old. Don't ever, ever, ever bother to go on a diet. Well, that puts my dieting out. I know you're obsessed and have that awful thing of standing in a sixth form canteen trying to choose between a yogurt and a breath of fresh air whilst wanting chips and cheese and salad. Don't sweat it. Eat regularly. Try and avoid rubbish and never diet. You'll end up the same size anyway, so drop it, girl, and drop it now. Believe me, nobody cares. Diets are the best way of confusing your metabolism for the rest of your life. Just be you and get on with it. I cannot tell you how much time and energy you'll save and how much happier you'll be. 2, when he says he doesn't love you, believe him, he doesn't. That is it. All the other mistakes you make are worth their weight in gold. I love you, Emma, 50. I thought that was quite a nice letter. For a young girl, that kind of sums up quite a bit. Actually, we have our teenage crushes. We're worried about our body sizes. We're worried about what fad diet is going. And to be honest, I think I've done quite a lot of those diets. I think even at some point, ages ago, I attempted to get like diet pills online, which is crazy. Don't ever do that. Dear 18-year-old, don't do that. I didn't do it, but, I thought about it when I was younger because I thought I was big at the time, but, I was nowhere near the size I am now. So, yeah, don't bother, go on a diet. And it's true, it would have saved me a lot of time and energy. Energy, somebody was. So, do guys, at, 18, etc., do you have these, do you have a complex about your body? Deben?
I can't say I did. I mean, no, I can't say that I did, and I still don't.
Mm-hmm.
But I kind of feel like I mean, there have been times when I've said, oh my God, or somebody has made a remark, somebody who hasn't seen me in years, and then suddenly sees me and go, oh my God, you used to be slim, or, remarks like that. And I'm like, oh my goodness. Yeah, it bothers me in that moment, but it doesn't linger. And I kind of think if it did, oh my goodness, what's Brazil for? Hop on a plane, get it sucked out. You know, I'm that, but you know me, I'm that kind of person. I'm like, oh my God, okay, if this gets to pivotal point, you know, I'll definitely do something about it. But I've never, you know, I often think, you know, if I have to go to a plastic surgeon, what would I change? I'm not quite sure that, you know, I would change anything. I quite like how I am. Um, yeah, I do. I've never really had that kind of level of body dysmorphia, but
Okay. So
there are many things that I wish that I could do. You know, I wish I could speak multiple languages. I wish that, and those are kind of skill
you
sets that
currently
you pick
speak
up when you're
two, which is more than quite a few people. Would you speak more?
No, I don't know. That's
Two.
all I speak. But
Okay.
yeah,
So let
but I'm
me.
only literate in English, so you know I can't write. Yeah, and I just kind of wish that you know, I just added a bit more color in terms of things like that. You know, I can't play an instrument. I'm not particularly good in sport. You know, I just wish that there was there were a bit more stripes to what I could do. And yeah, you could argue that, oh, why didn't you start today? But it's not the same. I kind of feel like, you know, much of that funk, you know, kind of died off society.
Okay.
As
So
it would do, because those are things you pick up, you know, when you're much younger.
let me ask you something else. What would you thank your younger self for?
I'll thank my younger self for never wanting to be anybody but me. You
That
know,
would be a tragedy.
why?
Because you wouldn't be who you are now, and that would be awful. You wouldn't be the
Yeah,
Devon.
I've never felt you know, I've kind of openly embraced the things that I truly love, even in an environment of real stringent suppression.
Mm-hmm.
And I never shied away from expressing what I truly like.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I remember when I would fly back to Lagos, you know, home, and my mother would freak out because as soon as she opened my suitcase, it was all floral shirts and fluorescent shorts. And she'd be like, oh my God, we have to go to the tailor first thing tomorrow morning because for the next 2 weeks, you have absolutely nothing to wear, even though I've flown home with 2 suitcases. And, you know, and then just kind of, you know, unashamedly loving my Janet Jackson and you know, and things which at the time it had no sexual channel. It was just what I liked. But obviously later on it kind of transpires into, okay, this is slightly more pink than we would expect. Do you understand what I
Then
mean?
salmon.
And yeah, exactly. But you know, but you know, throughout the time, you know, a lot of children, I think, would have been susceptible to being bullied or feeling intimidated or trying to rechannel, you know, who they are. And I think that, you know, I applaud my resilience, really, that
That's
I
good.
just didn't, you know, I just didn't. So I thank my younger self for that. I also thank my younger self for truly having an early understanding of what's right and what's wrong.
That's important.
You know,
Because
there were just things that I just fundamentally never did, even though it was the trend at the time. I never fell into peer pressure of drugs or alcohol or, you know, and that was just because I just felt that there were other ways of having fun. And it wasn't born out of religion or fear of parental instruction or anything. It was just like, I just didn't lean that way. And I thank my younger self for that.
what would you tell your future self?
That tomorrow is not promised.
True.
That you really have to unpick each day and celebrate it. And actually, and the opposite as well. So one of the things I do is program downtime. You know, consciously book, you know, an evening or a day off where I'm actually not doing very much. And I think it's just important to make, you know, your every waking day conscious, or to have a conscious angle to it, where it's just not like days bleeding into weeks, weeks bleeding into months, and then you go, oh my goodness, where's the year gone? You know, I want to flashback and actually have content. And that's something that I want to carry on doing.
Okay. I think
it's really
you mentioned Sankofa earlier on.
Yeah.
So that's definitely one. It's actually my favourite Adenkra symbol. And if I wasn't so scared...
I just wish you didn't take what I... You know, babe, you know, you may be from Accra, but I just needed to keep it real. I brought that on.
You did. I'm very proud of you. You already know. You already know.
There's 40
So
other symbols you can choose from.
no, that is actually my favorite. In fact, my first business card, Sankofa was my symbol on there. It's my favorite because it's something that my grandma used to say to me a lot. That never forget where you came from, where you come from, and where you came from, because that's what will make you who you are at any stage of your life. So it's definitely, and I think it's really important, because we do forget ourselves, we do lose ourselves, whether in happy times or bad times, we tend to forget ourselves. But when we remember and we look back to where we came from and how far we have come, even when we tumble, we have come far. It's definitely encouraging, and it's a source of strength for me. So yes, thank you for saying Sankofa. You know, I'll say reminded me of it, but I'll definitely say to my future self to remember where I come from and Sankofa. And maybe in the future, if I stop being such a scaredy cat. I've always said there's two. If I don't think I ever will get a tattoo actually, but if I was ever brave enough to, I would get Sankofa and one other. So yeah, definitely remember where you came from. Remember where you're going, where you want to go. Let go of all your past regrets and the fear. And keep moving. Don't stop. Keep on moving. There's a song.
Yeah.
I can't remember the song, but there's a song.
So keep on moving.
Keep on moving. Do you wanna? Yeah, are you gonna sing it?
I do like Being Kabi as well.
Pardon?
Is, you know, I do. The other Adinkra that I really do like is Being Kabi,
Being Kebi.
which is which is you shouldn't bite another person without reason.
That's true. But people do that. People tend to do that. People tend to.
People do that.
And you shouldn't, because.
And exactly. But people do that. This is the thing. People do that. But yeah, Sankofa I think is really important, because particularly for this discussion topic where, you know, your past and your youth really is really a reference point for your future. You know, to move forward, we have to look at the panels we've laid in the past. And I think it's it's really important.
There's a note that Maya Angelou wrote to herself. I'm going to read that one actually as well. Actually, she says, "Dear Marguerite, you're itching to be on your own. You don't want anybody telling you what time you have to be in at night or how to raise your baby. You're going to leave your mother's big comfortable house, and she won't stop you because she knows you too well." She goes on to say, "But listen to what she says. When you walk out of my door, don't let anybody raise you. You've been raised. You know right from wrong. In every relationship you make, you will have to show readiness to adjust and make adaptations. Remember, you can always come home. You will go home again when the world knocks you down, or when you fall down in full view of the world, but only for 2 or 3 weeks at a time. Your mother will pamper you and feed you your favorite meal of red beans and rice. You'll make a practice of going home so she can liberate you again. One of the greatest gifts, along with nurturing your courage, that she will give you. Be courageous, but not foolhardy. Walk proud as you are. Maya.
Wow.
Yeah. I think I've almost finished reading all her books. She's definitely a great writer that we've lost. But, you know, she's somebody that lived her life quite without regrets. And I think there was an interview where she used to say, you know, there's no point in regretting the past, but all the things I didn't do then, I will do now, and make sure I tell people and I advise people that this is the way forward, to not regret the past, but do talk to your younger self so that your future is clear for
and
you.
there's an adding craft of that, which is called mpatopo, which means to make peace
You're
with
really
your past.
trying to put me to shame today
Oh, don't you know that adding craft?
with your Adinkra knowledge. Which one?
Mpatopo. Mpatopo.
Mpatoto.
No. Mpatapo.
Patato. No, I don't know that one. I have to say that I don't know all of them. So you'll have to forgive me, Devin. What does that one stand for?
Oh, yeah. It's about making peace with your past and reconciliation of the issues you have with your past, either they're people or their situations or circumstances. Because your past can really lock you into a grip that stops you from flourishing.
That is true.
Let me tell you something. The Akan culture, they really understood humanity. I just need to put it out there.
The which culture? The Akan?
Akan.
Thank you, dear. Yes, you're right. We do. And so do other cultures. But I think, well, yes. Thank you, Devin. You're the man. Anything else?
I won't hold up your line.
Well, you know, people are hardly knocking it down, but yes, I do appreciate, you know, you calling. You've been on for about 30, almost 35 minutes. And
but I'll stay on as well. I'll stay on as well.
Somebody
but you know, it's one thing about. Oh, is somebody calling?
No. Carry on.
So, well, one thing is that, you know, whilst regret is something that we shouldn't do because it bears no fruit, I think it's important to actually have moments of reflection, you know, just to kind of, you know, it's not always about letting go, but it's also about reevaluating what's happened as well, and just kind of letting that stew. You know, it's a fundamental attribution to consider the context that has occurred, and just kind of draw outcomes and lessons from it, I think, without necessarily beating ourselves up over what's occurred.
Okay. So what else could we tell ourselves? We've talked to our younger selves. We talked to our future self. What can you tell yourself now?
Well, I think I can mark, well, certainly in terms of my personal journey, I can mark milestones of wisdom, you know, and the wisdom comes from knowing the difference between what happened in my past to what's happening now. The difference also lies in how I would have reacted before, how I would react now, and also differences in how I would show appreciation before to how I show appreciation now. Things that had a lot of value and meaning before to what, you know, to how I would do things differently now. And just marking that change and understanding that change and knowing that that change is a product of my journey, of my experiences, of my objectives, of my goals, of my circumstance, of my trials, of my tribulations, of my interaction with the people I've met, with the space I'm in, and with my perception of what lies ahead. I think it's just, these are just really important milestones, which, you know, I've come to understand. You know, I've had identical situations of something happening before, and I would have such a really strong adverse reaction, and then it happens to me now. I'm just like, oh, okay, this is just a product of life. You know, these are, you know, these are, you know, how people are, and I actually have a choice in either, you know, salvaging it and moving forward, or reacting to it and being consumed by it.
There you are. Yeah. I've got, so I don't know if you listened a couple of weeks ago, we had, the show was about mental health.
Yeah.
And your mental well-being, you know, as adults, as young people, etc. And there's this sort of stigma-free zone weekly newsletter that goes out sometimes, and there's a letter that I'm also going to read out. I think, I wish I'd seen this then, I would have read it then, but I'll read it now because it is a letter to you now, your younger self, and possibly future for anybody that might be struggling with things. It says, "Hey you, I know things are hard, you're struggling to fit in, and you don't know where you belong, but you are beautiful, amazing and perfect the way you are. You will go through trials and hard times and come out a much stronger person. You are young, naive, and wanting to be a perfect person. But let me tell you a few things. No one is perfect, and as you grow, you will accept your imperfections and learn that people who are in life will not stay. It will hurt you, but you will see the light at the end of the tunnel. Being perfect is not what you want. No one is perfect, and it's better to accept your imperfections than live a life where you are afraid to take chances and try new things. Take risks. Give new chances a try. Don't hold back. Be who you are. I know you think that things won't get better, and you're experiencing things that you don't even understand. One day, they will all make sense. One day, you will realize that things that happen to you can strengthen or defeat you. It's okay to take your time on this journey through life, and it's also okay not to be okay. You're human, and you're allowed to show your emotions. If you only see how tough and strong you are now, you could take the world by storm. Things are tough for you right now, but I want you to stay strong and keep fighting, because when you see all the struggles you went through in your life, you will be glad you didn't give up. You'll be a person that other people flock to for help and guidance. I wish you could see the person you will become. I wish for you to be happy and to do what you love. You will understand one day that all these struggles that defined your life were meant to happen. You're tough and you will make it." Isn't that amazing? That's beautiful. I think that's such a great letter.
I think all three letters have been great, and yeah, and they all sort of minister to different aspects of, or to different people, but at the same time holds meaning for everybody who reads them. I think that. Did you struggle with perfection when you were younger?
I still struggle with perfection. I don't think I struggled. Of course, you know, as a normal teenage girl, young lady growing up, there was always, oh, you know, I wish that was better on me. You know, I wish I didn't have, you know, maybe acne, or I was a bit taller, I was a bit slimmer, I didn't bite my nails, I had nicer nails, you know, just things like that. But I wouldn't call it a struggle. I didn't really go through periods where I was struggling with me or the things on me where I, you know, it got me maybe depressed or thinking about it too much or anything like that. Yeah, I don't think I did. I know some people who did. I know a couple of friends who, in fact, one in particular had such a huge issue with her nose, which I thought was absolutely perfect. That, you know, she worked so hard as a young person, and at the first chance she got her nose done. I know another girl who was obsessed with the size of her boobs. You know, she got her boobs done. They're both happy. So, you know, some people struggle, but I didn't really have that. I mean, now, if I had money and I wasn't so scared.
I also think it's a really smart move to do that. I mean, people always say, oh, yeah, you know, recognize yourself and blah, blah, blah. But some people are beyond talking points. And what do? Be a prisoner in the body you hate? You know, for quite honestly, it's, you know, all it takes is saving up for a summer job to fix it. You know what? So that you can get yourself that liberated feeling. If that's what it is, you know, why don't you just go ahead? I didn't see the big issue with it. And, you know, I don't struggle with that. So I always think it's easier said than done. But on issues which I'm sensitive to, you know, I'll be damned if anybody said, oh, you know, you shouldn't kind of react, or, you know, for instance, somebody said, oh, no, you know, you shouldn't live your life a certain, you know, do you understand what I mean?
Yeah.
I think people are more sensitive to issues, and I think understanding is about empathy. You know, if it bothers them that much, and all it's going to take is a visit to the surgeon, you know what, that could be life-changing for people.
Yeah, it's true. I suppose you've got to live your life. We all do things every day to make ourselves feel better and to feel happy. You know, people have different avenues. Some is with chocolate, some is with exercise. Some people, you know, going to have surgery is the way forward. So why not?
It is the way forward.
If you can afford it, if you're not hurting people, why not?
I mean, and quite often, I always think the outcome is worse than how you started it off anyway. But, you know, it's not even about that anymore. It's about, you know, perception. It's about, you know, what people feel. And I'm sure you've had encounters with people where they're just in their own little headspace that this, you know, something is really flawed or something is really great, and you're looking at it through a completely different prism. And I think people should. I applaud people who take direct action in fixing or attempting to fix what they think might be a problem in the way they know how. And just giving people the space to do that.
Do you know what I'm...
And that's one thing I wish was when I was younger as well. I wish I was just kind of more embracing and tolerant of people. You know, I was with certain things, but then I wouldn't say I universally was. But then I was a product of my environment to some degree. And even though I felt I was progressive within that space, there were still some limitations of things that I couldn't understand or things that I struggled to. You know, life is a lot more grey for me now. And before, it was along very binary black and white lines. I remember the first time I heard that somebody was a Satanist, I completely freaked out.
That you heard somebody was what?
A Satanist.
Oh.
I remember I saw this documentary and I was like, oh my God, you know, like this is a... You know, and whilst I'm not saying that I'm open to the idea now, I still applaud the fact that, you know, people, you know, choose a different path and, you know, it's up to them, you know.
Yeah, that's definitely something I won't be applauding. But, you know, if that's what people want to do, I just don't understand why that's the path that you would want to take, but...
Yeah, but I think the other thing you have to realize is that fundamentally, if you're going to believe the ethos of atheism, where people say, you know, religion doesn't exist, it's a construct, it's a fundamental thing, you know, you could also argue that, you know, Halloween is actually you know, is a byproduct of that. You know, shaman rituals.
But
byproducts of that.
I think, Devon, I think that you know, my family, we don't celebrate Halloween. We won't be. We haven't.
I never have. I never have.
Right.
But
Okay.
what I'm saying is that it it it's mainstream now, and
It's.
considerably.
Do you know what? I think that's one of the things that people just. There's a lot of things that people celebrate and they don't understand the basis of and where it began from, you know, across all nationalities and all religion. But I think that's a different topic. You know, we can't get into that right now because that's definitely a whole show on its own. That's a show on its own. I'm going to read a message from Michelle Obama's last message as First Lady. I think she did a speech, and it's just a part of it that she sends a message out to young people, and she says, I want our young people to know that they matter, that they belong, so don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Be focused, be determined, be hopeful, be empowered. Empower yourselves with a good education, then get out there and use that education to build a country worthy of your boundless promise. Lead by example of your hope and never fear. And know that I will be with you, rooting for you and working to support you for the rest of your life. Maybe that's not to her herself, but I actually wonder what she says to her children. I know there's a few parents listening. There's mothers, aunties, uncles, fathers, grandfathers, grandmothers. Some of you are listening. And I wonder what's the message that you're sending out to your young people. What are you saying to them? What are the words of encouragement? What are the things that you've learnt now that you wish somebody had perhaps warned you about or advised you on as a younger person? If you want to get involved, the telephone number, should I say it or Devon, do you want to?
It's +44 203 002 8482. I repeat, +44 203 002 8482. If you are a resident in the United Kingdom, you may drop the +44 and just go for 0203 002 8482. I repeat, 0203 002 8482.
Whoop, whoop. Okay, so Nee is in Virginia, I believe. Nee says that I will not change a thing, including all the mistakes and the mishaps that I've had. I would not change a thing. Okay, don't change a thing, but Nee, the question was, what would you advise your younger self? What would you say to your younger self? Surely you have something to say to your younger self. I'm still waiting for Millie to call, but I don't know. She's not going to call. I was going to put her on the spot.
While we're waiting for her to call, can I also talk about anxiety that, you constantly feel it being tested, and how that can reduce the ability to kind of grow and to remember and to it almost kind of destroys their sense of knowing.
Mm-hmm.
Because the thing about tested all the time is that you want to pass those tests, and to pass those tests you minimize risk, and you can't take risk if the risk of failure is present.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really important to understand anxiety at even a very young age.
Mm-hmm.
And when I reflect on my youth as well, there were times when, even when I did my own thing, there was some self-checks and balances simply because people didn't like them, but there was no criminality attached.
Mm-hmm.
There was no deviance attached, but it just wasn't tolerated.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So for instance, wanting to dance sometimes, but people are telling you to sit still.
And you want to
wanting
dance.
kind of, well, I mean, as an example,
Yeah.
or to tell a story and it's like, shut up, or you're asking a question, it's like, oh, for goodness sake, enough.
But-
It's almost like, so by the time you get to a certain age,
Mm-hmm.
it feels like every thread of and every spark of creativity,
Yeah.
of enthusiasm, of knowledge seeking, and of exploration has been schooled into this very magnolia channel where you can be seen but not heard. And
So do you think that's quite cultural, though?
well, I don't know how Ghanaians do it, but yeah, it ain't pretty.
I think it is because, like, say for instance, school. And it's so funny. I went to this education conference on Saturday, and one of the speakers said that, when they were younger in school in Ghana, they were quite brainy, and they came here, and because they had to listen in Ghana, if you opened your mouth to say whatever, you'll get beat. At that time, you'd get beats for disturbing the class. You weren't really allowed to express yourself. You weren't to speak until you were spoken to and even asked a question. And even sometimes that being asked a question, you weren't really sure whether you should answer or not because you didn't know if it was rhetorical. But anyway, he went on to say that when he came to this country and he was in class one day, somebody talked back to the teacher, and instantly he was afraid that something was going to happen. And it's so funny because when I first came to London at the tender age of 9, in school for a few years I was quite smart. I was ahead of the class. I was even accused of sort of cheating one time because
At what age did you come?
I came when I was 9. And
Okay.
I was, ahead, like, as far as education, to a lot of my classmates. And the one thing that happened quite early on, and I realised, was that in class, people could talk and nothing would happen to them. There was a lot of, oh, shut up, miss. You're talking rubbish, miss, and things like that, and nothing would happen. Now, the first time that happened, like this gentleman, I was frightened. I was like, oh my God, hell is about to break loose. I waited 1 minute, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, till today, nothing happened. So I think in this country, some people will say there are more rights. Should I say people are more able to express themselves freely. So whilst there is anxiety, I think people have anxiety about very different things in England than, especially, young people, I would say, have their anxiety. And I'm not saying there's no anxiety, there is here and in Ghana, but I think it's very different just because here you are more able to express yourself. You are encouraged to express yourself. You're encouraged to give your opinions on matters. You don't have to be 18 and over to be able to give an opinion. Like, or somebody says anything to you, to say something back. My nephews and my niece, for instance, I always say to them, well, somebody asks you a question, answer them. And if you can, ask them a question back. Or they say, simple thing like, hello, how are you? Say, I'm fine, thank you. How are you today? When I was younger, somebody would say to me, hello, how are you? Oh, thank you, I'm fine, thank you, auntie. And that was it.
Yeah, you never ask them back.
Do you see what I mean? Or how dare you?
You never say hi. It has to be a more formal structure of good evening, good morning.
Yeah, it's not, hi, how are you? That kind of thing. Somebody spoke about getting in trouble at university, because they addressed their their professor by their first name at the same conference. Whereas here, even in primary school, and actually when my nephews say, oh, Miss, and then, or you know, Gina, or whatever the teacher's name is, or the classroom assistant's name is, their first name. And before I was just like, don't you have to call them Miss whatever? And they said, no, they tell us to call them by their first name. That's the name we know them by, etc. So, I mean, definitely that's not going to happen.
I find that to be a little bit much, actually.
What, that they call them by their first name?
Well, I think that there ought to be some kind of boundary between, because, you know, if you're learning from somebody, there has to be a certain kind of hierarchy. And also, I mean, I did go to secondary school here and to university, and certainly I think the landscape shifted, because it wasn't like that for me when I was in school. Even at university level, you know, we didn't call, I don't remember calling my teachers by their first name.
No, it was definitely Miss. Like, even,
yeah, exactly. Even at university, right?
Yeah, but I think overall, a lot of the teachers here, you still do have to call them Miss this, Miss that. In high school, all my teachers were Miss this and that. Or Mister.
Birmingham and Middlesex, didn't you?
Sorry?
You went to Birmingham and Middlesex, didn't you?
To Birmingham.
Yes, Birmingham. And you called them, I mean, there was an appellation. You weren't just slamming their first names on, were you?
No, I definitely used Sir and Miss this, Miss that. I didn't ever.
That's what I remember.
And
absolutely, that's what I remember as well.
But now maybe it's just their school, or maybe it depends on person to person, teacher to teacher. But certainly, it's not a crazy thing to call your teachers by their first name. So that anxiety is definitely not, one that a lot of these kids have. But whether they should call, they're still respectful. I think definitely they're still respectful, but that's not one.
To digress slightly, I liked what Tasha Willis said, that she would definitely tell her younger self to stay fit.
Yeah.
I wish that I told myself that, because you know what? I could have instilled a habit that I would now be trading off the health benefits. You know, whereas exercise was never on my radar.
But do you know what? I think it's time, because when I was younger, I was literally, like, people used to refer to me as, and I'll say it in Chi, pencil I apipahon, or one eye apipahon, which meant I was as skinny as a pencil with a bit rubbed off, or one with a bit. I was really skinny when I was younger. But I remember I used to have this, like, my mum got me this, or my mum had a Jane Fonda workout video, and I still have that video in a video. And I used to work, I've got pictures, I used to put on my whole, like, leggings and leg warmers and, you know, a bodysuit or swimming costume, whichever was close. And I used to work out a lot when I was younger. I mean, look at me now.
Wow.
I'm not. When I was skinny and had no fat to spare, I was going crazy with exercise. As an older person, I need to be doing all that. But you know what? I'm not. So I don't know. Some things, if you continue, it will certainly stay with you. But I think it depends on the person. I've certainly gotten lazy as I've gotten older in some things. And one of them is exercise, which is not great. Yeah, I'm trying to do some walking, lot more walking. So I'm walking about 25 minutes a day in the mornings. But that's not...
Oh, that's good.
Well, not really. It's not really good exercise. I'm trying to check what I eat. Today I was saying to my boss that from next week we're not allowed snacks. Pardon?
I think you'll find that 25 minutes walking a day is significantly better than the 0 I'm at. So,
it's better than 0. It's better than 0, but, you know.
But I think you're amazing. I think you're absolutely stunning.
Oh.
And listen, I'm just really conscious that I am just monopolizing your line. So I'm just going to give out the number again. For all you peeps to keep calling, it's +4.
No one is actually calling today. I think people are watching football. People are out and...
what game is on? What game is on?
I don't know. Like, I don't know. We're actually doing a sweepstakes at work, which I kind of organised, but I have no idea who's winning. Unfortunately, I do know that Nigeria's been...
beaten by Argentina.
Yes. Oh, Deben, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, darling. It is well. I was rooting for the Super Eagles.
Black Stars.
We didn't make it this year. Pardon?
They're a hopeless team.
Who?
But,
the Black Stars?
It's interesting.
Wait, what did you say?
Hopeless, honey.
The Black Stars are hopeless. Because you have arrived, because you've made it to one World Cup, Abi. It's okay. It's okay, Deben. It's okay.
But listen, what I want to say is, you are right, actually, because pretty much everybody I know tonight is watching the World Cup.
It was Brazil versus Serbia.
My circle is not even the World Cup circle.
Yeah, you're the Eurovision circle. But apparently, thank you, Roan. Roan is a king. He's a king. He's a king. He said the game was between Brazil and Serbia, and Brazil won.
Obviously,
I think that was kind of... Was that expected?
I think that the pairings have been rather predictable in terms of who could win. Mind you, nobody saw Senegal winning. I mean, that was amazing.
But yeah, I think Senegal's one of my teams. Although, I don't know where they are. But yeah, Senegal's one of my teams.
Better than the Black Stars, babe.
Oh, here we go again. This Ghana, Nigeria. Let it go, darling. It's okay. I was rooting for Niger. And you guys, like, you just needed a draw, didn't you? You needed a draw.
Are we out now? Are we completely out?
I believe so. I don't know. I think so. At this point, like, you're not... Yeah.
A contender.
Yeah, it is well. It's okay. It's okay. Christian, you finished watching the game. I mean, unless you were rooting for Serbia, there's no... I don't know why you haven't called. But okay. Hi, Benjamin. What are you laughing at? I don't know why he's laughing. But you can call in and tell me. You know, Deben's been here for me today. Where are you guys? Wait. Oh, yeah. Even, like, usually people are on my WhatsApp, and today I think it's the weather also. Where are you, Deb?
No, I think it truly is the World Cup, honestly, because
I mean, there's a lot of people that I know don't watch the World Cup.
And a lot of people who don't watch football watch the World Cup. So
It's
I think
true.
You are, girl, you mustn't go against FIFA. No, girl.
Wait, hold on. Hold on. Roan is actually now my my football correspondent, and he said Germany played South Korea. Who would you think would win that game? I mean, I think you're on there.
Germany.
They
The
lost.
pairings have been so obvious.
Wait, Roan, are you saying that Germany lost to South Korea?
Then it's jazz.
Is that for real? Or
It's jazz, babe.
Germany lost to South Korea? Aren't they like?
Then it's jazz.
Okay, well, so it just goes to show that it can go anywhere. Gone.
I don't think so.
Oh my God, they're gone later. All right. Thank you, Roan. It's all over. What is happening? Roan said he's eating long grain rice. Why are you eating long grain rice? Okay, yeah. Long grain rice with what? Have you got chicken? I want some chicken. Oh, hi, Nay. Nay, get involved. Hi, Danny. I haven't seen you on here for a while. Nay. Yeah, Germany's out there, Ben. They lost to South Korea. I don't believe it. Hi, Nay. I'm doing good. How are you? Nay, call in, please. What would you tell your younger self? What would you say to your future self? What would you say? What would you thank your younger self for? And what was the other question? A note to your future self. What advice would you give? Or what would you give to your kids now? Because you've got 2 lovely boys and a little girl. What is the kind of advice you're giving them as a mama? What are you giving them? What are you telling them? To look after their finances, save lots of money, don't squander your money on nights out and traveling, things like that. Would you say that to your kids, or would you tell them to live carefree, footloose and fancy free, fall in love, see the best out of every situation, be careful, guard your heart? Parents, what are you telling your children? Benjamin, you're on the line. You can call me. You know,
sorry, another thing that I also, when we're talking about children and
hold on, Deben. Hold on. Hello,
hey,
caller.
Girl. Caller, it's Nene.
Hi, Nay. How are you, darling?
I'm good. How you doing?
Oh, my God. I can't believe you've never called in. Yay. My twin is on the phone, Deben.
Hello, Devon. Well, I'm here sorting out these clothes.
Is Nay. Hi, Nay. Good evening. Thank you for calling in. So, you know what the topic is, right?
Yes, it's about your younger self.
Okay. So, I know that when we were growing up, there's definitely quite a lot of mistakes that we made, but we had a great time mostly. So, what would you tell your younger self? As an adult and looking back, what are some of the things that you wish that actually some people have told you, warned you about, advised you to do or not to do? And
well, for me, I would say my younger self, I really enjoyed, our time. We had fun.
We had lots of fun.
And I think we were one of the lucky ones that our parents were kind of chill parents as well. They were harsh when it's time for them to, tell us, no, you're not going out this weekend, you went out last weekend. But apart from that, they were cool. They were parents that we can talk to. So I think that really make us have fun and our younger self.
Yeah.
But the only thing that I would say now, looking back on some of the things, what it's like being an African as well. Mm-hmm. We always have to do what they tell us. And every time an adult tells you something, that's always the right thing. Mm-hmm. So for me, having children now, I would say educate yourself. Mm-hmm. It's all about reading books, especially when it comes to religious stuff as well. Mm-hmm. Read books. Go and research things for yourself, even as a young person. And then come back and have a discussion about it with your parents. Mm-hmm. Probably, not telling them, oh, you're not right or I'm right. But have a discussion about things. And I think that really will help this generation today as well. To just educate themselves rather than just going with the flow, following people that don't know what's happening, or not having a clue on where they're going, and
seeking answers for ourselves more. Yeah,
exactly, yeah, exactly. I mean, you can still have fun.
I think it's just very difficult as well, because we come from really repressed cultures. I mean, I'm assuming you're Ghanaian, so you're familiar with the whole...
Nay is Gambian.
I'm Gambian. I'm a Gambian. I'm the jollof rice girl.
She's my Gambian jollof connection. My Gambian jollof.
Well, my love to Yaya Jame, wherever it's hiding.
That is another topic that my tweenie will have to bring.
Yeah. Need to learn more about it.
Actually, I would love that topic. I would love that topic.
Yes, the leaders of Africans. So you need to bring that one day, Twinny.
Oh my God, yeah. I need to find the right people to come in for that because.
Yes. So what were you saying then, Devon?
Well, in Ghana, there's a system called trokosi, which essentially robs children of their youth because they need to atone for the wrongdoings of their relatives, and it is although legally it's not allowed to, although legally it's been somewhat condemned in Ghana, the practice still continues very actively outside of Accra. I mean, so you are aware of what I'm saying, you know. So again, it goes to show how, you know, voices of children are being silenced and decisions are being made. You know, even in the most liberal homes, when you have that as the overarching backdrop, there's only so much you can advance beyond that. So I think culture does play a really strong role in our expression, and when you live in a different culture outside of the one you grew up in, you know, you get flashbacks of regret because you kind of think, oh well, you know, this is lost youth where I could have done X, Y, and Z, but obviously in those terms, just because it's just a completely alien concept. So yeah,
absolutely.
It's just
I mean, we love our African parents, you know, but sometimes it's just that you're thinking, hang on a minute, I'm also human here. I've got a voice, you know. Even as a child, you still have a voice, you still have a choice as well. And like you said, depends on where you grow up as well. And I think for us being in the Western, you know, culture, living in here, having a voice is very important. Because, again, like me now, having children, I have to listen to my kids. I have to listen to what they like, you know, things that they want to do,
and
who they want to be. Absolutely. You know, because if you want to invest in them, you need to find out what they like, what they want to be. Who are they?
I think that's really generational, though. I think back in the days there were few, I would say, because I know about Ghanaian parents and African parents, but I also know that there were a few of my Asian friends whose parents were quite similar to my African parents in certain aspects. So I think in those times it was definitely children are meant to be, what was the saying? There was even a campaign that children are meant to be seen and not heard.
Children are meant to be seen, not heard.
Yeah. But certainly, and I remember there were posters as well. There was some sort of a campaign in the 90s, and I remember that quite clearly in this country. But I think as time goes on, certainly children are friends with their parents more, should I say. There's more freedom, they're more free. I can say as I've gotten older, I'm much better friends with my mum. Should I say she's still my mum, I'm still respectful to her, but we can have banter, we can joke. Like, even your mum, Nay, I'm very much like that with her. But growing up as a child, it was like, no, you know, there was a stern look. It was that look that was worse than beatings and wait till you get home, that kind of thing. But now, I think there's definitely more conversation between parents and their kids. So I guess as a parent, you're saying that you would advise your children to be more open with you and open up more to you.
I would, yes. And, you know, I allow them to a limit again because, you know, they're still children. But I'll still allow them to have fun, still allow them to have friends. And at the same time, you still have to, you know, filter their friends as well, because I think that's very important. Having that fun and being who you are, your friends do also, you know, count in your life. And I'm very grateful to have friends like you guys. You know, coming to the UK, I'm so blessed to have friends that I'm still friends with. And we had fun. We had good times, and we're still having good times.
And we still have good times. And actually, Deborah, Nay is also one of my... Nay and I share a birthday. So that's
We
one
do,
thing.
we
So we're
do.
twins.
She's your twin sister.
She's
honey.
my twin sister from another mother, but she's definitely my twin. She's definitely somebody that's been in my life way over 20 years. We've grown up
We
together.
have.
There are times that, you know, we're not in touch all the time.
No, but it's like when we see each other, it seems like just yesterday.
Yeah, and we talk. So there's always that love there, and yeah, thank you, Nay, for being
You're
a
welcome,
positive
my
in my
lovely.
life and being a great friend. And I will say,
Thank
note
you for
to
being a
our
good
younger
friend.
self, Nay, to both me and you. So I was looking through old photos a few days ago, and I saw a picture from our 16th birthday
16th birthday.
party at my house. That was one. So note
Yeah,
to
that's a
that.
birthday to remember.
Note to that day is don't try and bunk the train or the bus because you'll get caught by the inspectors. If you're going to watch a movie, take tissue with you because we were in bits. And on our 18th birthday, we had a party at your house. And we bought
did.
some ridiculously priced dresses, but we were working, so we wasted quite a bit of money. So, pardon?
All right. I'm going to go downstairs because I've got the kids in going to bed now.
All right. Thanks
And they're
for
all
calling.
shouting now. But we will catch up.
Yes, darling.
We'll catch up. I'll come back another day.
Oh, now that you've started calling.
Remember our topic for me and Devon. So you have to do one with the African leaders.
Oh my God. All right then.
So that he can have a say about Yaya Jammeh.
Yeah, okay then.
But yeah, definitely for the young ones, just educate yourself, have fun, but be safe as well, especially nowadays in this social media. Be safe.
Thank you, darling.
Hey, how can
Yes.
Gambians take that injustice for so long? That is bad.
Devon, that's a topic for me and you. We'll come back. Good night.
Good night, darling. My love to the family and to my husband.
We'll do.
All right, bye.
Right, bed.
Mommy life. Right, bed.
I know, right?
Yeah, we've known each other since school. Nay disappeared for a bit, and Anthea has a theory about that. I haven't seen Anthea online today, but I understand. But yes, Anthea has a theory. Maybe one day we'll share it. She'll share it. She'll call in and share her theory about Nay's disappearance. But yeah. Definitely, we've got only a few more minutes, so to close, Roan.
I'm really sorry for dominating your space.
No, Devon, it's absolute. You know, I always want you to be about. So, thank you. Other people could have called in. Definitely, the lines can hold up to 3 or 4 people, so you don't need to apologize at all. People are just doing other stuff, which is cool. Do you? Thank you, Roan. Roan is a king. He said, yeah, Nigeria's gone. He's eating long grain rice. Germany's out. They are eating rice. Roan said
He's funny.
he would marry Sheila in his younger self. Oh, God, I missed out on that one, didn't I? Darn. Maybe we'll get in a time capsule and go back, you know, and then and Roan will walk me down the aisle, or I'll walk down the aisle and meet him on the other end, eh?
And can I just say, I'm looking at his profile now, and I approve, honey.
You approve?
I approve.
He has scary pictures sometimes, like his WhatsApp.
I say no.
Oh, he's changed it. Bless him. He's changed it. He had this really scary.
I say no fear, honey.
Okay, no fear. Right. So, in closing, dear younger self, don't regret
So,
anything.
Kochi, in closing, what are we gonna do about those who have, been in captivity during their youth? Do we have responsibility towards them?
I certainly think society has a lot to answer for when it comes to young people in a community, society as a whole. But I think parents also need to be accountable, and also the young people themselves. I think you get to a certain point in life where you know what's right and you know what's wrong. Yes, there's a lot of peer pressure. Whatever age you are, there's peer pressure. And as a child, sometimes you don't always know the right way to go, but you know what's right and what's wrong. It's difficult to do the right thing sometimes. But yeah, as a society, I think we need to teach our younger people better. We need to show them better things. Like sometimes when I'm out, I see older people behaving in ways that I just think, if a young person was doing that, you'd be up in arms about, oh, these young people, they don't have any respect, da 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 da. But they do it. The other day, somebody sent me a video of this Nigerian gangster come idiot, basically woman in Stratford, and they're fighting. She basically sent out a video and went viral saying to somebody to come and fight her. Basically, she thinks she's bad. Now, this woman's got the glasses, she's got her tattoos, she's got her piercings, really acting like some gangster from the Bronx or whatever, like she will kill somebody. And then the next video is they're fighting. These are grown people. And, and as Africans, we always say, oh, we would never do that, we're above that. Actually, no.
We're doing it all the
It was
time.
disgusting. It was absolutely disgusting. In the middle of Stratford shopping centre, where the stairs are, they were fighting. There was a brawl. Grown idiots. And then we expect young people to know better. And also, I think some people also, and I say it comes back to the house, sometimes people say, oh, this person is from a single parent family. There are many people who are raising children on a straight and narrow in a single parent house, and equally there's many people in there, with a mother and father in the house whose children are going astray, should I say. I think we all got to be accountable for our actions.
Because Barack Obama was brought up in a single parent household with a straight black father. The story could not be more bleak. And yet it turned out to be the president of America. People have to take responsibility a little bit more.
Yeah, we definitely have to. We've got to take more responsibility, and we've got to probably go back to that whole saying of a community raising a child. I know it's a lot more difficult because, even a teacher can't tell a child off now without a parent sometimes coming in and having a go and whatnot. But I think we all have to kind of work together because it's crazy, all these killings and all this crazy behavior that's going on, that's been passed around on social media. It's disgusting and it's crazy, but I think it all has to start from home. It has to also, quite a lot of people leave teachers to be the ones that bring up their children, to fully teach their kids. Teachers can't do that alone. They can only do so much. We then have to teach them. And I think also in schools...
And it can never be their responsibility either.
No, but schools, I think, also has to have, be teaching other things apart from maths, English, sciences, teaching kids about real life and what's going on out there, what the consequences are, having more conversations about that. We need to be having those conversations in the churches, in the synagogues, in the temples, wherever your religious, beliefs lie and wherever you worship. I think it's just the communities. We need to do better and we need to do more to be honest, because it's a disgrace and it's disgusting. So note to my younger self would be,
Sheila,
don't give in to peer pressure. Yeah, I think it's too much.
You've got 180 on me.
I'll do 360 in a moment. But yeah, note to your younger self, be happy in life. Note to my future self. What would be a note to my future self? When you're struggling, look back at how far you've come. Sankofa, like Deben said. Look how far you've come and continue. And I think I would also tell myself, my future self, not to be scared, but just to be brave. Just to be brave and just...
Does that mean we're going to that amusement park?
Oh, God. No, not that kind of fear. Deben is trying to get me to go on a roller coaster, and I've agreed to the zip line. That's fine. I can do that. But no more. Like, no. Not that kind of fear. You trying to call me out on my own. But I said maybe in the future I may do it. I will do it with you. But that's it. Any last words, Deben?
No, I'm just happy to know you, and thank you for having me on your radio show again.
Thank you. That's 2 weeks in a row.
It was fun. Yeah, it was fun to be on remotely. So
I appreciate.
But I really enjoyed the topic today. I really like the topic. So thank you.
You are welcome. Thank you to all the listeners, all the viewers, everybody who commented online. Hi, Maddie. Maddie said, note to her younger self is not to allow myself to be fat. I have to say, I don't think this woman is fat, but you know, it's how you feel. But I also know that, yeah, that you are more than capable of getting rid of it all, because you've done it before. You've done it a few times. You know, you're a mum, you've got 2 young ones. Give yourself that time, but you know, I know that you can do it. You know that you can do it. We just got to just do it. And I know you'll do it. So, you know, note to your younger self, maybe you can add that. Don't allow myself to get fat, but when I do, I'm more than capable of, you know, reining it back in and bringing it back in. So, yeah.
My only hope is liposuction at this point.
Pardon?
My only hope is liposuction at this point.
Where?
Oh, well.
All right. Anyway.
I'm glad that I'm able to
hide it well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Listen, my girl, call me on your way to the station. I have something I need to talk to you about. It's really, you're going to love it.
Okay, well, I'm going to go and listen to what Deben has to say to me. Thank you, everybody who joined in again. I hope you have a wonderful week. Shout out to my family in America. I know some of you guys are going through a tough time right now, but we're going to get through it. It's going to be okay. Shout out to Chelsea and Casey. I love you girls, and I can't wait to give you guys a hug as well, and to AK, to everyone really. Yeah, have a great week. Enjoy the summer, enjoy the beautiful weather, keep hydrated, take lots of water, lots and lots of water, because you know it's quite hot out there. It's summertime. Enjoy your summer, and yeah, have a great week. Deben, thank you very much for staying on with me all this time. Have a good week as well. I'll speak to you soon.
Yeah, call me.
Bye, babe.
Bye.
I'll say berries could increase blood antioxidants.
me water. Holy water.
The international boy, DJ Perez.
In the night.
Anywhere you there, I go there.
No man say no man can take my joy away.
And nigga, me not go friend nigga. Give me love, make a love. No pity wicked. Your pity wicked.
Say DJ Perez.
Say my name, baby.
DJ Perez.
Say my name, baby.
DJ Perez.
I will give you what you wanting. Baby, come and take my money. Baby, back to the dancing. Baby, this is no be joke thing. So I'm gonna give you what you wanting. All these niggas on my pinky. Baby, back to the dancing. Baby, this is no be joke thing. So I say no man can take my joy away. Yeah, I just wanna get more money and live my life my way. Free smoke, free energy, more life to my enemies. They won't take away the energy. They can't take away the energy. I no go lie, this kind of life will make you grace. Kind of life will make you lose your mind, yeah. And baby girl, I no go lie, I like the way you ready anytime I call on you, yeah.